Hey guys, thought it might be time to do another video on painting square bills, and this one's a little bit out of necessity. Now, the last week or two I've been having some pretty good success with a black and Chartreuse S-crank that I painted. Unfortunately, during that time I've also lost it twice. So painted, lose it, paint it, lose it, and now we're coming back to painting it again. So I thought this time around, let's go ahead and do a video. So stick with me. Alright, this one's a little bit different. One thing. Normally you'll take your blank and put a base coat of white on it. This time we're doing it different. This time I put a base coat of black, and then as you can see I've got the red spots on it. Now the way I did this, I just airbrushed it normally with black, and for the red I just took some Walmart red apple paint, put a little bit down. I just take a toothbrush, put a little on the end, and I just dab my marks on with a toothbrush. So we start out with a black base, red spots on it, and the key is when we're done with this right now, we're going to dry it really good before we move on to the next step. Now, to get the desired effect I have here, we usually wrap this in some type of ribbon. And I've tried various things. This is a metallic type material I've gotten at Hobby Lobby. You can wrap that over the lures and it leaves your marks you want. They've never quite been big enough, so I can't say I've been happy with that. This is a floral ribbon I picked up at Hobby Lobby. It has the irregular lines I wanted, but there was too many of them. It left, well, let me see if I got one here. Here we go. Here's the pattern with that, but it left just so many lines. Maybe the light isn't going to work too well to see that. It left a little too many lines, so I can't say I like this one, though it was better than the first. And then I found this one. This again is a floral ribbon, I guess. Hobby Lobby is where I bought it. It's got the same irregular lines, but they're a lot spaced a lot farther apart. That gave me the desired effect. So what we're going to do is wrap this around the lure, and then we'll go from there. Alright, as you can see, I've been using these a few times. Basically what I'm going to do is I like to lay it in, take this back hook, kind of hook that in a little bit, and then I just pull forward to pull it tight. And now it's just basically wrap up the two sides, and you got to pull them real tight. Then I use hairbreadth clips I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Put one in the front, pull that in tight. Now make sure I get everything pulled as tight as I can on the back. Put another one here on the back, and there we go. I've got this one wrapped and ready to step on to the next step in painting. We've got our lure wrapped, so what's the next step? Well, if we're going to paint this anything, trying to paint over black, it would be about impossible to get any of our colors to show through. So what we're going to do now that we got this in place, we're going to paint it white. All we're going to do is cover everything with a nice even coat of white paint. Now that we've got a really good coverage of the white, before we step on, we're going to dry it. And if you remember, if you haven't seen before, I use a heat gun because this type of paint dries better with a heat set. Now we're doing our black and Chartreuse, so our next step's going to be the Chartreuse, and in this case I'm using transparent bright yellow. So we're going to go transparent here. I don't need it way up at the top, but I go up a good 2/3 or more. The black's going to cover anyway when we do it, so there we go. There's our transparent. We'll have to dry this now, then we'll move on to the black. For the next step, we're going to kind of experiment a little. For here, I'm using pearlized black. The very first chartreuse and black I did, I used opaque and got by with that one, real sharp black. But I thought I wanted to try the pearlized. So the second one I did in pearlized. It wasn't quite as dark as the first one, so I used it. It was okay, it caught fish. But I thought, let's try this. So we're going to take the pearlized, and I've added about 3 drops of the opaque to that. Put that together, and hopefully that'll give us just a little bit darker color. We'll see if that does what I'm looking for. Alright, and now we're just basically going to go right down the back. We don't want to get very far off to the side. Just hit it kind of light. And we're going to put our angle down so it washes across that just a little. That'll give us kind of our fade down effect along the sides. I'm going to do a little bit extra here up around the face. And that's good. Let's see what we got. We'll dry this and then see where we stand. Now, it's very important before you take the wrap off, give it a good drying. You want these good and dry before you take the wrap off. Alright, time to unwrap, see what we ended up with. Pull that back. And there we are. Let me try to get it in front of the light a little better. Pearl black and chartreuse. As you can see, our initial black and red that we painted is now showing through. You can even see up in here almost a little bit of white, and basically that's the angle. I was shooting it back this way, so a little bit of the white tends to show through also. And there you have it. Now we're going to set the eyes. Now I like red eyes, but I don't. I'm out of this size, so we're going to use, it's got some red in it. In this situation, these come, they're always a little sticky on the back. I don't quite trust them. So I got just a little tacky glue, and I just used a toothpick. Just put just a little smallest amount of that in the eye socket. And as you can see, I don't have any fancy tools for setting eyes. I use a pair of toothpicks. One to put in the glue and one to pick up the eye. I just try to make sure I get that eye straight. This one has a little bit of an oblong iris in the middle, so I don't want him to look cross-eyed. There you go. And we have eyes. Next thing will be, put a hard coat on this. For the top coat we're going to put on this, I'm going to tell you what I'm using, but you got to move kind of quick, so I might not actually video all of this, but just to show you. I'm using a Bob Smith's Industry 30-minute slow cure epoxy. Again, I get this at Hobby Lobby. 2 equal parts, mix it up good. Just a plain old cheap brush to put it on is the way I do it. Give it a good coating, but you got to be kind of quick because things can harden up in a hurry on you. So let me mix it up, put it on. I'll show it to you after I get done. Put the top coat on it. Now I'll let this sit all day, all night. Then tomorrow we'll have a little runoff back here. We'll kind of chip that off so we can get the hook sets in. But that's what we end up with. Looks pretty much like the first 2 I did. Really simple to do. And to kind of show you, early on you might have seen, you can see some shadows flushing around in the background. Let me show you real quick if I can why you had that. Basically, while I was doing one, I was actually doing 4 at the same time. I did 3 in the S crank, and then I actually did another one here in the Spro's Little John style. So basically it was real easy to pick up. Once you're doing one, you just keep going from one to the other. So it doesn't take a whole lot to do that one. I think it comes out really nice. I really like this one. And they all come a little different. Now you can see here, this one doesn't have it here. Let me see which one has the spot on it. Is it this one? No. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, this one ends up with kind of a red and black spot on the side. And basically it's just where the wrap, how the wrap comes out. So no two lures are going to be the same. Maybe that way the fish hasn't seen this one before. He'll think it's a whole different lure. That's it, guys. That's my pearl black chartreuse. It definitely has caught fish. We're going to hope it keeps catching more. Thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to our channel if you would. Hope to see you again real soon.